Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from the host, Imperial Dane, featuring today a 1 versus 1 on Langres. Yes, indeed, Langres. We shall be watching experts VonIvan fighting for the Americans, fighting for the 1st Infantry Division. Going up against him shall be MWDavetank. Davetank, indeed, fighting for the Panzer Lehr Panzer Division. And note here, already within the first few minutes, there's quite a difference. We're seeing a much more engineer aggressive start from VonIvan with a 3 engineer start. He's hoping to seize a bit more territory from Davetank. Of course, that way sacrifice a bit of infantry, but it's a trade-off the Americans can make a bit easier due to how their infantry sort of works a bit better on their own and can quicker overcome the Wehrmacht forces. From Davetank, though, we are seeing the standard start, so nothing deeply unusual there. But it's going to be interesting to see how VonIvan, will try and leverage his engineer start against Davetank. What sort of initial territories he will be rushing for. And so far, we are seeing, in fact, a VP rush going on here from VonIvan, heading in towards the center, while Davetank is taking a slower approach. Although we are seeing a bit of wine going off here, that is good. 1st Infantry squad out for Davetank. The full Grenadiers arrive. And there we go, the victory point is secured by the 1st Infantry Division and VonIvan. Securing the munitions up there, going to be securing munitions there. Looks like he's heading in towards the munitions there. And of course, I mean, when you go for an engineer heavy start, I mean, 3 or 4 doesn't greatly matter. I mean, you will be needing a lot of munitions because then you'll also want to be equipping your engineers with flamethrowers. So obviously, I mean, munitions will be part of today's agenda for VonIvan. And flamethrowers. Lots and lots of flamethrowers. And there go 1st Infantry Squad rolling out for VonIvan. Davetank heading up here to connect his fuel point with the rest of his territories. The fuel point down there being ignored initially by Davetank. And note that while they're protecting the munitions, running towards the house, they could be engaging the pioneers overhead, causing a bit of problem for Davetank's further advances on the right hand side. 2nd Full Squad arriving up for Davetank. Will likely join up with the 1st squad. 2nd squad arriving soon ready, but in the meantime, I mean, this is the sort of situation where Davetank could try and push forwards and do some damage to VonIvan, since he will be a bit short on infantry in comparison. And note here, he's actually putting the pioneers up here, knowing that VonIvan can't let them hang around behind his lines, and that way Davetank is basically just drawing away VonIvan's front line infantry. That's a bit of a sneaky proposition. And of course, if he actually has the Pioneers survive, that's definitely going to pay off. And there we go, retreating. Pioneers will likely survive. But again, now we do see that Davetank has advanced, taking up the positions here by the front line. Of course, now we will see that VonIvan will have to rush into Davetank's position here, covered by the building as well. Really sneaky, nice move there by Davetank. Meanwhile, lighter skirmishing going on here. The Pioneers, though, lost the fight against the Engineers. There's good. Full Grenadiers will advance up the left-hand side. Engineers and Riflemen hanging up there. Bit of quiet. What shall be out next for Davetank and MG42? Sniper. More Full Grenadiers. 3rd Squad Riflemen on the way for VonIvan, and Full Grenadiers moving up there towards the munitions. Although in this case, I do think Davetank might have spread it out his Full Grenadiers a bit too much. He could have tried, keeping them within range there and actually been able to deal some damage to the rifle. At the same time, VonIvan looks like he's sneaking up behind, might try and cut off the resources. And we do see a sniper 3rd out for Davetank. This is definitely a bit unusual, but clearly he intends to sort of drain slowly VonIvan of life and men. And there, Garov getting sniped. At the same time, Engineers pushing up there. One already equipped with a flamethrower, moving up here. No mines. I think VonIvan could benefit from a mine step going up to hit that victory point. In fact, VonIvan is holding most of the victory points now. Fulton is finding up against Rifleman. Flamethrower going to hit up the flank. Rifleman trying to lure in the sniper, although of course VonIvan is not quite clear where he is, but there we go. And we do see that Davetank snipers run off. And there we go, Fulton is getting flanked from several positions. And we do see that Davetank immediately hits retreat, realizing he cannot gain anything further from this fight, and instead chooses to try and preserve as much manpower and health as possible on his infantry. Really nice move there, but also really nice flank there by VonIvan, although I'm sure he would have liked to do some more damage initially to Davetank's infantry. We are seeing a Jeep out 3rd for him. Of course, to deal with that sniper, that goddamn crouch sniper. barbed wire going up there. Good move, good aggressive move, going to try and hinder the movement of the Wehrmacht, in particular to try and reach the fuel point right next to the base. Really bold move there by VonIvan. And catching the MG42 out there in the open. Cheeky. VonIvan though getting sniped. And missing grenades off of VonIvan already. Doesn't quite get the full drop there on the MG42, but close. And a grenade on the Volksgrenadier, sending that remaining Volksgrenadier and the sniper away. VonIvan being absolutely overpowering and now mining down here. VonIvan really preparing himself. Going to make it hell for Davetank to get back in the fight. Excellent. Jeep is moving up. Supply going up. VonIvan, of course, going to push his advantage further since he holds most of the map. And, of course, going to make it very difficult for Davetank to advance. That is good. Of course, Davetank is not completely out of the fight. He has Volksgrenadiers. He has German infantry. And a sniper. So, of course, he can try and slowly drain out VonIvan until he sort of reached the breaking point and then push through and try to rush forwards and take as much territory as possible. It's going to be a bit tricky, and, of course, over here on the right-hand side, it's definitely going to be very tricky to regain. So, of course, it would be good for Davetank to switch towards the left, which seems to be what he's doing at the moment. Jeep, though, advancing up, going to cut right in front of the MG42 and the Volksgrenadier. There we go, Panzerfaust, and VonIvan's Jeep quickly goes down, which, of course, also means Tier 2. For Davetank, and of course, I mean, that's going to likely be the safer move for Davetank at the moment, in particular since he's probably going to be hit by an armoured car soon or something similar. Flamethrowers moving up there again, Flamethrowers, Flammenwerfen, Volksgrenadier here behind, heavy car going to push off, but we're seeing the MG42 providing carboning fire, another grenade, more Volksgrenadiers going down, but the riflemen and the engineers are getting suppressed. And this could be the opportunity that Davetank needs to advance quickly forwards in the name of the fire. And there we go, Sniper gets another bastard on the retreat. Going for the fuel over there, and again here a mine would have been nice to perhaps, stop the pioneers. Could even possibly have killed the squad, which would definitely have been a loss to Davetank. And we're seeing Browning automatics now going up for VonIvan and a Jeep. I'm not entirely sure that's a good move. He's got the supply yard. I think, attempting an armoured car would have been better, but VonIvan goes for the BARs and a Jeep, so might be he's, trying to lure Davetank, of course, into going for, preparing for armor cars for the pack and all that, and then, of course, hitting him instead with infantry. So, of course, that could be a bit of a deception measures right there going on from VonIvan. And actually, he had considered, we can see here from the wreckage, well, the bits of wheels and such, and they actually had thought about a motor pool, but actually decided against it. Would be interesting to know what VonIvan actually decided right there. But, well, BARs though pop up. We are seeing a Jeep ready as well. We're seeing further mines going up. Well, in this case, perhaps he should have mined up here as well. The Volksgrenadier is pretty close to hit, but not quite. Not quite. Jeep here could be sandwiched by Davetank, but Davetank does not seem to be wasting pioneers. And a mine up here. Of course, he's worried that VonIvan might try and rush a Jeep after a retreating sniper, and thus a mine right here is going to be a good move. Rifleman advancing up there and alerting Davetank to the fact that VonIvan has BARs. Engineers getting sniped. More mines going down front of the house. Actually also alerting Davetank to that. Seems like VonIvan is getting a bit too obvious. Sticky bombs going up as well. The Jeep rolling out. Volksgrenadier coming under fire. Literal fire as well as the flamethrowers open up. Flamethrower engineers get sniped. Jeep pushes in. Needs to be careful. Volksgrenadiers hit a mine. Grenadiers advance for Davetank. Und die Panzer Lehr. Bunker attempted by Davetank, but the Jeep ruins it, but the Jeep is also heavily damaged. VonIvan needs to be careful, and he looks like he could be losing another Jeep. That's going to be a bit too quickly. Grenade on the MG. Oh, doesn't do quite enough. There's still the Volksgrenadiers, but that was not really good for VonIvan right there. Oh, he saves the Jeep. He saves the Jeep. Otherwise, that would have been a huge blow. I mean, he would have lost quite a bit of manpower in a short succession. Rifleman squad, those quickly pushed away by German infantry. Left side, that looks to be falling to VonIvan and the 1st Infantry Division. Rifleman pushing in from the left to the right-hand side to try and contain the German excitement over there as they declare victory. But, of course, find themselves under fire again. Going for the cut-off point there, very bold. Going to deny Davetank the resources, and of course still no victory points for Davetank. Grenade on the Rifleman, grenade against the Grenadiers. Minor losses inflicted, but we are seeing the Rifleman simply pushing through the Grenadiers. Veterans who won, by the way, increasing accuracy, making them harder to hit, and they're just tearing through the German infantry right there. Veterancy 2, not even 10 minutes, and Veterancy 2 for VonIvan's Rifleman. He's really just tearing Davetank up. And really, no, I mean, there's barely any territory left for Davetank at the moment. A lot of it's cut off. Jeep, though, needs to be careful. Might try and go in after that. Sniper, of course, there's Volksgunners nearby with a Panzerfaust, which could very well. There we go, Panzerfaust. And there we go. Good night for VonIvan's second Jeep. Question is, was it even worth it? And of course, question is, how will VonIvan handle now? He's certainly lost a bit of manpower, and again, those two Jeeps were a bit of an excessive loss. And there we go, we'd quickly see the Pioneers begin to basically just pick the Jeep apart for any things that could be salvaged for spare parts and, well, trade it in for munitions. And there we go, Engineers get cut down. VonIvan all of a sudden beginning to lose a lot. 4th Rifleman squad also out now for VonIvan, increasing the infantry pressure against Davetank. Bunker going up for Davetank. No further stuff here. And of course, Davetank knows now that the fight has turned towards infantry, at least for the time being. So of course, he's going to further reinforce that. That's likely going to be a medic bunker. And of course, Davetank would benefit from a Kampfkraft center. And we're also seeing Blitzkrieg up. Interesting, but we do see the rifleman right there pushed away. Davetank advances for the Fatherland with 4 infantry squads of his own, 2 of them grenadiers. Rifleman up, there we go. VonIvan pushing up there with a bit of a blob, or at least a bit of a column. Going up there, quickly rushing Davetank off the field, off the center right there, again going for the fuel point, advancing up there, MG42 moving about. Davetank needs to be careful, he needs to spread out his rifle, otherwise they will get stopped by that MG42. No, within grenade range. That could actually end up very badly for Davetank. And there we go, the MG42's cleared out. Sniper needs to be careful. Bunker getting upgraded to medic bunker. And no, VonIvan grab that MG42. And there we go, no. Oh, make up your mind. Rifleman here getting fired on all sides. Grenade against the Grenadiers. Grenadiers grenading the Rifleman. Heavy losses all of a sudden. Rifleman drying left and right. More German infantry advancing up. But it looks like Davetank has been denied an MG42. That's definitely going to hurt, and that's definitely only going to further the cause of VonIvan. On the other hand, Davetank has a trick up his sleeve now. He's gone Blitzkrieg, he's gone left side, he's got 2 command points, he's got 500 manpower. He could try and throw in a Stu-42 because currently VonIvan would be vulnerable to that. He has absolutely nothing, and there we go. The Sturmhaubitze called in to support the Panzer Lehr Panzer Division. So that is definitely going to work out quite nicely for Davetank. That's definitely going to throw a huge wrench in VonIvan's plans. Of course, he has sticky bombs, but I mean, that's going to be a bit tricky to pull off against a Stu-42 that might be well supported with snipers and German infantry. So, of course, now VonIvan will need to rush out a solution, either motor pool and anti-tank guns or a tank depot, and well, basically anything but a crocodile. But there we go, wounded beginning to be picked up by medics, carried back. Advancing infantry coming under fire from the Sturmhaubitze. The Sturmhaubitze misses. I've advancing on a much more wider front this time around. Catching Volksgunners up there. Still no Kampfkraft sent up. Rifleman squad gets wiped out to a man by the Stu-42. Rifleman squad hits up a mine. But that was definitely very devastating right there for VonIvan. Rifleman there needs to get out. In fact, he's down to 3 squads now. That's going to hurt. Although he didn't lose his veterans, he had 2 squad. That would have been, well, devastating for VonIvan. We do see a tank depot going up for him. So clearly he is intending the armoured solution to the antics of Davetank, and we are seeing a pack on the way. He's largely anticipating something, of course. A bit more armour to deal with this Stu-42. Grenadier squad reformed. He could try and pick up the BAR, getting some more anti-infantry firepower to wield against VonIvan's forces. We do see the MG42 watching over the field, guarding against any direct advances from Davetank towards the victory point, but also towards the munitions right there. Overall, decent position. Going for the fuel point over there, nice harassment. And the tank depot is already flashing away with the sparks. Things are being worked on. Kampfkraft center finally going up for Davetank. Grenadiers hitting a mine there. They did pick up the BAR, and of course the MG42 made a bit more of a mess of things. And there we go, the sniper sniping away at the rifleman and quickly runs away, realizing he's going to otherwise get a very, very nasty beating. Volksgrenadiers advancing up here. Need to be careful around that MG42. Riflemen reinforcing. An MP40 being equipped for the Volksgrenadiers. Advancing on the riflemen. Seems to have been equipped with a medic pack since they are moving slow, and there we go, quickly run off. Wehrmacht, though, as such, did not heavily invest with submachine guns to its infantry like that. There were full grenadiers actually on, well, in later stage of the war, but that was because they couldn't get what they were actually supposed to have, which were assault rifles. So fun little fact there. Otherwise, usually MP40s were, well, less handed out on a larger basis. As such. Although I think there might have been some Jaegers who were actually heavily equipped with MP40s, according to a 1943 table of organization. We are seeing a Sherman out for VonIvan, the M4 Sherman. Quite a few variations. Oh, Pioneer Squad went down. But the Sherman is advancing, not outgunned yet. That could also prove to be an idea. And there's only one pack so far from VonIvan, I mean, to stop the Sherman. But the Sherman is advancing. Otherwise, usually you'd have about 17, I think, Shermans in a tank company, usually equipped in, well, 5 per platoon. And then they also have an interesting thing in the Sherman company. They usually also have a single 1 or 2 upgrade equipped with a 105mm howitzer, basically a bit like the Stu 42, actually. Bit of a fun fact there. Sherman, though, taking a bit of heavy damage. We are seeing riflemen moving in against the pack. They could even try and steal it, I suppose. Infantry following up on the Stu 42. No punch strikes as of yet. Grenade perhaps against here VonIvan. That could pay off. And there we go. No grenade. It's stayed against the rifleman. Pack decrewed. Rifleman needs to be careful. Heavy artillery going in as the Sherman goes straight for the Stu 42. Threatening to kill a lot of Davetank's infantry, but so far most of the artillery misses far off the mark. MG42 opening up, suppressing the grenadiers. Stu 42 goes out of control. Sniper could go down to the Sherman. And there we go. Sherman scores a kill, taking out Davetank's infantry. And his Stu 42 is down. Davetank has suddenly been a bit gutted right there. Getting a second pack. Sherman, though, from VonIvan needs to get out of there quickly. It is heavily damaged. Of course, there's Panzer nearby as well. Pack number 2 gets spotted by VonIvan's infantry. Pioneers only really nearby to try and help. That could prove a bit unfortunate for Davetank and the Panzer Lehr right there. Riflemen, though, continuing to suffer losses, down to 3 men. VonIvan needs to consider retreat right about there. 2 men. Grenadiers are arriving. Come on, VonIvan. At the same time, securing the central victory point. Fox goes advancing up the left flank. Mine went off somewhere, killing some poor unfortunate bastard. And Davetank, though, is beginning to get the infantry advantage because he has a medic bunker. VonIvan does not have a medic station, and now we do see 5 infantry squads up. So while VonIvan might have a Sherman, there are some other measures for Davetank to try and survive this. We've seen a second Sherman rolling out there for VonIvan. No veteranity too, by the way, for Davetank's infantry. That could pay off. That could pay off. Sherman rolling about. Not entirely sure what he is intending. To protect there. Oh, the Grenadiers are close to a mine, and they hit it off. The Grenadiers hit off the mine, and the Grenadiers went down to the Sherman with a 50 caliber on top. Absolutely devastating for Davetank. Of course, pack firing away. Another Stu 42 rolls out. Grenades getting lopped. Sherman gets another kill. Sherman, though, needs to be just a bit careful. Medics moving out to pick up the unfortunate Grenadiers who were slaughtered by the fuel point. And this Grenadier squad is not doing too well either. Davetank suffering heavy losses left and right. And there go Riflemen moving up. The pack's going to get spotted. And not even any armor veterancy for Davetank. Sherman, though, coming under fire from the pack. VonIvan, what are you doing? Why are you being so silly? Oh, looks like he actually made it behind, but again, full Grenadiers. Davetank just needs to get off a Panzerfaust, and that would be the end of the Sherman. But I do not think that VonIvan should have sent in that Sherman. And there we go. Waste of a good Sherman right there by VonIvan. I definitely think that was a poor move. But apparently he had a bit of pattern in him. Just charge ahead. You'll survive anything. But where does Sherman shut up? Second Sherman rolls up, opens up on the Grenadiers. MD-42 quickly suppresses the bastard. Packs open up on the Sherman. Stu-42 advances up. Gets hit nicely in the side. And looks like Davetank is hoping for the Tiger tank to save the day. He's definitely saving up for that in terms of command points. And doesn't seem to be expanding up the tech tree. So very likely he is thinking a Tiger might pull him out of this mess. 3 infantry squads. I mean, VonIvan suffered some losses as well. He's not singing Sibbity Doodah as of yet. In particular, not have he lost that other Sherman. Again, I really think that was an unfortunate move. More flamethrowers being equipped for VonIvan. Grenadiers are being fought by the Riflemen again. Veterans, 2 Riflemen going up against them. Although we do see MP40 Fulskers moving in. That could actually very quickly turn sour, and a grenade possibly going off against all of this infantry. There we go. Oh, but they quickly move past. Oh dear, VonIvan could lose. Yes, Veterans 2 squad. That would be huge. Oh, that absolutely right there, wasn't it? Blow that I do not think VonIvan could allow himself to lose. I mean, a Veteran 2 Rifleman squad, which could have been very close to Veteran 3, is not good at all. We do see Normandy advancing up, spotting the pack again, but we do see the Stu-42 nearby. And we are seeing a Sherman Crocodile coming out for VonIvan. That's an interesting move. He's probably hoping for something a bit tougher to perhaps clearing out the packs with, or something else. He could lose another Grenadier squad. Rifleman squad, I mean, not Grenadier. Well, looks like the Riflemen get out there, but that was another slightly ill-considered move by VonIvan. Not looking too bright at the moment. But soon the Crocodile shall be ready. Of course, it was not really called the Crocodile. The problem is, the other name, which is called the Sippo, is, I believe, probably trademarked, which meant they'd have to pay a lot of money for it. But we do see VonIvan actually stealing a pack. But we are seeing Veteran to do Grenadiers now with a BAR, pushing straight up. Grenade going off. Oh, and my goodness, Veterans, they get the Grenadier squad. Davetank loses another one. Pack opening up. This all of a sudden turned into a very devastating flanking move by VonIvan. Oh, no. Flamethrower Engineers going to go down. Stu-42 very close to getting lost. Veteran Rifleman definitely needs to be careful. VonIvan cannot afford to lose a Veteran 3 squad. If he does that, that's going to be pretty much game over, man. And we see both Shermans advancing up. Pack decrewed. Riflemen need to retreat now. Again, VonIvan, get them out of there. 2 men, sliver of health. Come on, VonIvan, you can't afford that. Sherman already heavily damaged. Grenadiers getting burned. Get the Sherman out there. There we go. Retreating the Riflemen. Need to get that Sherman out there. And we need to get that pack out of there as well. We do see Davetank viciously counterattacking. Sherman trying to get out of there. Crocodile burning away at whatever is Davetanks. And largely, currently that's just the medic bunker at the moment. But Sherman escapes. The Veteran 3 Rifleman escapes. We're seeing a tank destroyer coming out for VonIvan. And it looks like he's trying to burn those Grenadiers away. A bit bold. Again, there is no retreat now. And of course, the packs are going to get recruited by Davetank. He's clearly not going to allow the Crocodile to escape alive. At the same time, Fulsker squad going to flank up. That's definitely going to be a bit sneaky. I'm going to need reinforcements. Crocodile very close to death. He's going to need a long retreat route. But there we go. Heavy damage from the Panzer Lehr. VonIvan, I think, getting a bit too cocky or desperate. I'm not entirely sure what it is. Oh, the shot fails to penetrate the frontal arm of the Sherman. Will VonIvan, though, be able to save the Crocodile? Although it does have Veteran 1, which means he can be faster, but he needs to get bloody well moving now. And we do see the pack moving over. I fear it might be too late for VonIvan's Sherman Crocodile. I do believe it's actually time for the mid-game analysis. Current situation, VonIvan really had the match, but then basically came down to a few reckless moves with his tanks, and he actually ended up losing some things he could not lose, including a Veteran 2 infantry squad that was absolutely devastating. He's starting to pretty much bleed out in infantry. He's only got 1 non-veteran, and then he's got the Veteran 3 Rifleman squads. And I mean, Davetank is nearing in on the Tiger tank, and I suspect VonIvan is aware of that. Of course, he's seen the Stu-42. He knows the Tiger is not going to be that much farther off, in particular the way he's currently losing units. So VonIvan is in fact under a bit of pressure. He's dealing with more infantry than he has currently, although his veterans of 3 rifle squad can absolutely tear through the German infantry. He's got a Sherman, but in other ways he's quite vulnerable. In fact, very vulnerable, and he needs something to sort of stop up for Davetank's inevitable Tiger tank. He needs that, and currently again, the losses he's suffered, the slight miscalculation, if you will, he's made, has rather allowed he's exactly ripe for getting hit with the Tiger tank. So he needs to somehow come up with a solution to mitigate that. That could perhaps be an off-map combat group if he's lucky, which will provide him either with Hellcats or anti-tank guns to sort of try and, hold it back. So largely that seems to be his only hope, albeit a bit of a rotten one. For Davetank, on the other hand, I mean, he needs to get that Tiger tank. He needs to keep that medic bunker still working, and he just needs to push on. He needs to do some damage and just take territory. So, let's get back to the fight. And there we go, the Crocodile does go out of control. Again, a bit of a shame right there for VonIvan. Quite a bit of resources lost on tanks as of late. And a bit of quiet. Packs setting up. Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers advancing, heavily equipped with weapons in hand. All the Grenadiers need some reinforcement. They're down to only one man with a BAR. And I don't even want to be fighting with this Yankee crap. And there go veterans who are moving out, and we immediately see Davetank realizing he can't win this, so he's quick to bugger off. And definitely that veterans who rifle squad is definitely going to be one of the aces left in VonIvan's sleeve at the moment. MD42 holding up the center, quickly suppressing a Grenadier squad, though we do see the Stu-42 moving up. At the same time, far left falling as well to VonIvan. Grenadier squad gets pinned. Volksgun is next, and there we go. Stu-42 gets a kill, and there we go. Axes to the off-map combat group at the same time. He can call in some off-map artillery if he so fancies. And of course right here he could of course try and call in some artillery on any packs that appear, and of course charge in with the Sherman. Ooh, he's got several Hellcats up now. So again, for VonIvan it's about preparing a bit for that Tiger, but of course also getting up some of that armor. But also note here, I mean, there's a front line here, but the pack is sort of reasonably removed. It's not at the fast front line, but there's still some movement in space. So of course, when VonIvan charges in, his Hellcats are going to come under heavy fire. Will there be off-map artillery? In fact, we see 2 packs, and note the way they're staggered. Really note it. It's not something so one pack can easily be dealt with, and of course both are gone. No, there's depth in defense. So even, one is gone. I mean, VonIvan still end up taking quite a bit of damage, losing something. Ultimately, though, he was able to rush through, and of course the artillery helped a bit, although I think it should have been up a bit faster. And now we see the other pack going down. Veteran D2 for the Sherman. And of course, now VonIvan needs to be careful. He's getting a bit cocky, I fear. And there we go. The Tiger has arrived. The Panzer Lehr throws it into the fight. And the current way, well, now VonIvan is in fact quite vulnerable after this assault, after charging straight through the pack defenses. And of course the Panzerix, there we go, down to Sherman, and the Tiger has arrived. That was definitely not good for VonIvan. He's pretty much just walked straight into the Lion's Den, or in this case the Tiger's lair, and he's going to get murdered. So that was definitely a severe miscalculation, possibly just VonIvan getting a bit too sanguine or bold or whatever. Too much of a pattern, and instead he took a beating. And now largely is going to come down to a good off-map combat group if he wants to contain Davetank's advances. Otherwise, I mean, it's pretty much good night VonIvan. And the Rifleneer coming under heavy fire from the Tiger tank. And there we go. High explosive round just tears the stuffing out of 4 of the riflemen. Grenadiers pushing up the center. Other squad on the retreat. MD4 opening up the Grenadiers. Veterans of 3 riflemen doing what they can. But again, the off-map combat group is the only salvation for VonIvan. Although currently he bought himself some time by damaging the engine of the Tiger tank. Grenadiers getting pinned down in the center. Engineers cutting through the wire. Tiger tank slowly advances. Then a few German troops tried to hold up here, the riflemen, but they failed. And there we go, MG crew gets wiped out, sent into oblivion by a high explosive shot from the Tiger tank. My goodness. Really nasty stuff there, and Davetank is so far managed to stabilize the front, and he's delivered a hell of a blow to VonIvan. But the off-map combat group is ready, and there we go. Anti-tank gun, Greyhound, mortar, rifleman squad. The anti-tank gun will be of help with its armor-piercing rounds, but ultimately, though, it's probably not quite the sort of volume of anti-tank units that VonIvan has hoped for. Either he would have hoped for 2 anti-tank guns or 2 tank destroyers. He didn't get either. But that does not mean it's completely rubbish. There's still an anti-tank gun. He's got the Greyhound, so he could use that to try and keep Davetank occupied on the flanks. And of course, he's still got riflemen and some mortars to cover points. But it's definitely not happy time for VonIvan. Another bunker likely going to be a repair bunker to try and keep Davetank's Tiger operational, because again, for Davetank, I mean, it's very much all hinging on that Tiger tank right now. If he loses it, he risks completely getting swept away by VonIvan's forces. Medics getting guarded down. VonIvan has no intention of allowing Davetank to recuperate any further infantry squads from his casualties. Mortar, though, advanced a bit too quickly there for VonIvan, and we do see the Volkskrieger going to move up and clear out the mortar crew up close and up dangerous. And there we go, the mortar crew dies horribly. A rifleman do advance from VonIvan, but a bit too late. The Volkskrieger is taking heavy damage. A squad goes down somewhere for Davetank. And Volkskrieger getting pushed away. Tiger, though, up on the rifleman, doing quite a bit of terrible damage. Grenadiers advancing. And rifleman getting stopped by the MG42. Point blank, more or less. And there we go, veterans for the rifleman coming under fire from 2 Grenadier squads. And they're just throwing in as many shield gun artists against the rifleman as possible, softening up as much as possible. 5 still alive, though they are a bit wounded now. And there we go, grenade in response against Davetank, and we do see the Grenadiers quickly realizing this is not fun and retreating. Grenadiers are mounting up against the anti-tank gun. The anti-tank gun, well, rather what's keeping the Tiger tank at bay. Grenadiers might be able to get it, or will the armored car be able to fend off the Grenadiers? But there we go, the Tiger's advancing. The anti-tank gun crew already damaged. And there we go, it's gone. Greyhound might try a Greyhound mine by the Tiger to basically disable it, sacrificing itself, and no, does not succeed. Goes down. And it is really falling apart now for VonIvan. After again that slightly unsuccessful, well, armored assault right there, losing him what he was probably intending to use against the Tiger tank. It is very much falling apart. Grenades getting exchanged like Christmas presents of a more explosive kind. And pushing up the center, that is good. But again, the pressure on VonIvan is quite intense, but he's still fighting on. I mean, he's got very little left. He's down to 3 rifleman squads and an engineer squad. Well, Davetank has 5 squads from infantry, an MG42 and a Tiger tank. And again, it's the Tiger tank that's making the real difference against VonIvan. And there we go, engineer squad went down in a burst of glorious German fire, and the veteran G3 rifleman could risk going down as well. Absolutely dreadful damage being inflicted right there upon the vanguard of VonIvan. And veteran 23 now up for Davetank's infantry. Riflemen and Grenadiers fighting out on the far left flank. Grenades getting locked. And there we go, nasty damage inflicted upon the veteran 3 Grenadiers. And they are quickly run off with quite a bit of wounds. Not just on the body, but on the soul. A bit quiet. As VonIvan, of course, is reinforcing infantry, but at the same time, he wants to save up resources again for the off-map combat groups, because at this stage, it's not about almost what he gets, it's just about having numbers. VonIvan needs numbers, and the off-map combat group can largely always be counted on to provide set numbers. And there's, of course, always going to be some sort of anti-tank, and that's, again, going to be enough for VonIvan. I suspect that's his thought. Grenadiers being held up by the veterans field riflemen, but we do see the Tiger mounting, and we're seeing another off-map combat group, another armored car, 2 squads of riflemen, and another anti-tank gunning in. Not quite the sort of numbers in anti-tank fire, and we're seeing the Volkswagen just tearing through the freshly arrived riflemen. Grenades are getting locked, but they miss. They do not quite hit. Although now the Volkswagen is going to get subjected to the full fury of the Americans, but again the Volkswagen just tear through the riflemen. Already one squad almost goes down within the first few minutes of its arrival on the field. Devastating. Anti-tank gun got ambushed by Grenadiers and the Tiger tank and got wiped out. It is not looking good for VonIvan. He's going in, cutting off, harassing points, and looks like he's just playing now for the victory point victory against Davetank. And the Riflemen up here are in deep trouble as the Grenadiers push in. The armored car is going to get pushed back away from its base due to the presence of the Panzer Lehr. Fighting continues where the Riflemen could go down. And looks like the MD4 has been recruited by Grenadiers, but we see veterans of the Riflemen going up to clear out the entire thing. And there we go, the MG crew dies. Another Stoof gets called in. In fact, we're seeing a manpower blitz. Victory points being retaken quickly by Davetank, and we are in fact seeing him tanking up. And veterancy 2 for the armor. And we're seeing a Greyhound all down here trying to pretend it's a wreck. Apparently, I'm not entirely sure what. And the Riflemen once more escape with heavy losses. Grenadiers are being pinned down by an MD42. Riflemen advancing up. Grenades getting exchanged. Not quite doing a lot there, though. And just heavy infantry losses, although now we do see 5 squads of infantry for VonIvan, so that might slightly turn the tide. But again, he's lacking in the anti-tank assets department. He needs something to hold back the Tiger and the Stu-42. In particular, now the Veterancy 2 are definitely going to be tough, and in the case of the Stu-42, they will be able to lay down more fire. And we're in fact seeing that Davetank continues to take up, now going for the Panzer Command. Greyhound sneaking in and actually hits the mine late so early in the match. Intent on catching up, Jeep instead catches a quick raid by VonIvan's Greyhound. Riflemen coming under fire from the Tiger tank, and now the Stu-42, though neither seems to actually be hitting. And VonIvan just launching an all-out assault in the hopes of clearing it out, apparently, or at least damaging it with sticky bombs. Riflemen here getting cut down by Grenadiers. Grenadiers getting locked at the Grenadiers. They could go down. That would, yes, Grenadiers squad went down. Sticky bomb on the Tiger tank. Another BAR being secured, and 43 kills on the Riflemen. And there we go. The Riflemen quick retreat before suffering further needless losses. And there we go. Battle phase is complete, though he's lacking the resources to do anything with it for the time being. And Tiger gives a parting shot. Fascinating to see how Davetank, well, VonIvan keeps struggling on despite, having taken quite a few losses, but, he's still doing damage to Davetank. Actually managed to kill a Grenadier squad, one of the more better equipped one for anti-infantry fighting. And we are seeing the tank depot lighting up again. Now for VonIvan, looks like he's not going to bother with the off-map combat groups anymore. MD42 established up in the barn, gets a few Grenadiers down on their bellies. And there we go, another manpower blitz immediately set up. No, oh, well, there's one Pioneer squad, and there might be an attempt now at a Panzer Command, and we do see Veteran 3 on the way for the German armor. We're seeing the Stu-42 inside the barn getting blasted out of their hidey holes. It's howitzer round after howitzer round blasts into the building. Grenadiers run off from the left side. And there we go, tank destroyer opening up on the Stu-42. And the MG-42 crew dies. No, apparently still alive, though the barn is definitely worse off. Tiger quickly pushes up, trying to perhaps secure the territory for any things, and we are seeing more on the way for VonIvan and his tank depot. VonIvan advancing up towards the left side, securing the point right there. And sneaking in for a quick shot on the Tiger tank. A bit of hit and run being inflicted right there, and the MG heavily wounded inside a building, ready to collapse. Another Hellcat up. More shots on the Tiger tank. Will the Tiger be able to retaliate? No, it misses. At the same time, riflemen flying against the Volksgrenadiers. The Volksgrenadiers need to be a bit careful. So do the riflemen. And grenade! Ooh! Taking a chunk out of the Volksgrenadiers right there.
Pioneer team ready.
And we do see the Panzer Command. Whoops. Panzer Command going up for Davetank. And could be a Panther. Yes, indeed, it is the Panther, the Panzerkampfwagen 5. And of course, the interesting thing about the Panzer Lehr, though, was it was not the first Lehr unit. I mean, there had been plenty before, but they'd usually only up until then been battalion-sized. And they were usually more meant as a way for basically the German instructors at the different training units to actually get, sharpen up their experience and get some new thoughts, to then train out. So basically every now and then, they take and form a battalion out of the training instruction personnel from one of the training bases or whatever, and then send it out to the front line, basically that way, to teach some stuff or learn some stuff to then be applied for further training. A bit of a fun fact: Volksgrenadier squad though finally goes down. We could see a Grenadier squad going down as they retreat right past the riflemen. 49 kills, by the way. 51. That's a Grenadier squad down again for Davetank. I mean, VonIvan is still, tearing out quite a bit, and we're seeing 3 Hellcats. This could very much be the time for VonIvan to push out again, but we're seeing another pack up. We're seeing Grenadiers with Panzerx nearby, and the Hellcats going to be easy targets. There's nothing to clear out the pack. There's no infantry support. So that's very likely going to be 3 wasted Hellcats, I fear. Already several of them had guns destroyed. The Tiger tank, though, is down to less than half health, but he needs the Hellcats away. He needs them repaired. Another one on the way, but VonIvan keeps at it. And he loses several Hellcats. He's just got some engineers. Now we see a Panther out. That was, oh dear, a waste of Hellcats, which could have been saved. Which could have been saved and pulled in for a larger fight later on, which he might have had a slightly larger chance with. So that was quite unfortunate. Panther, though, rolls up. Cats and rifle in sight. The veteran 3 rifle definitely needs to get out of there. Victory points are less than 100 for Davetank and the Panzer Lehr. Come on, riflemen, retreat! Retreat! Get out of there! Don't try to be heroes! Leave that to the German army. And there we go. Hellcat again down. I mean, I think VonIvan at this stage is just getting desperate. And it's just throwing away units at the hopes they can keep Davetank away from the victory points just a few seconds longer. But it's clearly not losing, and he's now just wasting troops quicker than he can actually drain Davetank of victory points. So things are clearly falling apart right there for VonIvan, which is a bit of a shame. Ah, come on, Fraps, don't be like that. Come on, Fraps. Ah, come on. Hellcats still advance. Taking damage. VonIvan advancing, but again the Hellcat quickly went down. Didn't really do much damage as such. Sadly, another throw by the dice of VonIvan, who probably this stage should just consider calling it quits. Since he's taken off a lot of damage, he doesn't really have much left to throw at Davetank and his forces. And note again the sort of scattering. So, I mean, if one unit gets bypassed, there's going to be another covering that one. So in that sense, the Hellcats will run into a bit of problem with the mobility, because again, the depth there is currently in the lines of Davetank rather means it's going to be a bit more tricky. Rather here getting blasted a bit by the Stu 42. Let's just speed this up a bit. And now we're seeing a Panzer 4 arriving as well. The barn finally collapses. Arriving gets slaughtered on the retreat. And again, there's just basically 4 riflemen scorched, and they have absolutely no bleeding chance against all of this. Though again, VonIvan seems to be putting some sort of last maddened hope on the off-map combat group. And there we go, tearing the way through VonIvan space. Barracks, tank depot gone, and there we go, off-map combat group fighting 2 anti-tank guns finally, but now it's, I mean, too little, too late. And let's just call it quits here before Fraps messes up either. I mean, either way, VonIvan lost. I mean, it was a good fight, but the problem was, as VonIvan progressed, he made some mistakes. He kept losing armor in some ways probably he shouldn't have, and again, that was sort of the problem. The losses he suffered were a terrible kind, and in some cases a bit of a silly kind. You know, he easily could have avoided that. So that was a bit the problem. The unnecessary losses that VonIvan lost allowed Davetank to slowly but surely recover. In particular, that one with the Sherman and the 2 Hellcats really cost VonIvan a lot and really set him up for something I imagine he might have expected happened. So that was really not very good in the long run. Basically, Davetank's more stable way of playing allowed him to slowly but surely get back. And the losses of VonIvan basically crippled him. In the end, he might have instead, you know, tried with some anti-tankers, you know, getting a motor pool and then getting anti-tankers. That might have helped due to Davetanks, in fact, lacking artillery. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends. If you didn't, well, why not send a replay around, provide some feedback, or, you know, whatever. But this is Imperial Dane saying cheers.